What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane back again with another Queen Sugar video as we take our weekly trek back to St. Joe's Parish. In this video, we are going to talk about episode 5 from season 6. Let's get into it. The Bordelon siblings have a meeting at the start of the episode, and Lord knows they need to. Because of Nova's book, we got police and excavators on the farm who have found what looks like human remains, and they are trying to put this on Ernest. Hollywood is re-energized, and it's beautiful to see him like this at the start of the episode. Gabriel has him hyped, while Vi is struggling with the idea that Ernest actually killed someone and has the remains buried on the farm, or at least the rumors of that are circulating right now. Prosper and Billy are trying to make their way back to each other. Now, keyword is trying, because Prosper is saying things but not what he needs to, and is alienating Billy in the process. She has organic muffins, a new coffee maker, and a more positive outlook after talking with Nova, and he is just stuck in his old ways. Darla is hella worried, as she should be, and now Rod is talking about his homie is his plan B and everything will be okay. Why can't they just talk to their families, Rod? This is what annoys me about the male ego, because you're going to risk going back to jail instead of talking to Charley and letting her clear up more than half of your money problems in less than 5 minutes. Like, come on. Not that I think that we should lean on our families and force them to help us, but Charley would be glad to. It's their family farm and they all don't want to lose it. And they just made it through a damn pandemic. A little later on in the episode, Micah talks to Charley about his anxiety and panic attacks at school after he breaks down how she struggles with control, poignantly pointing this out, and she shares how she's working through her worrying for Davis, the parish, Rod, the farm, Micah, and all of the things that are swirling around in their world. Now, with Darla and her concern, she goes and talks to Aunt Vi about how concerned she is. She reveals that even though Rod told her not to ask for the money from the account with her parents, she does anyway and is keeping it from him. Vi is right, Darla. Good for you. I love Darla's dialogue here as she says, I have to contribute. I have to feel like I have a solution to our problem. And it's so powerful because I feel like very often black men feel emasculated when their women step in to fix things when they can. They see it as we're trying to diminish them, and that's just simply not the case. It's about supporting you, us, what we are building towards, and not feeling like a burden and actually being a partner. So let us. I get it though. You want to take care of us, and I truly love that. I totally want a man that wants to take care of me, but if you can't or come up against a little bit more friction when trying to do so, please tag me in, coach, and let me help instead of digging us deeper or putting yourself in a hole neither of us can help you get out of. And as the episode progresses, not Ralph Angel praying for his criminal caper. Y'all, I know I've been saying that I did not want him to do this and that he shouldn't do this and he should lean on his family, but woo, the scene was powerful and we needed to see it. I get it. Though I don't want him to do this, feel this, be in this, I literally get it. He had to do anything that he can for his family, but only if he could see leaning on his family as one of those last Hail Mary options as well, not just calling up the homie. Now, as the episode progressed, we see Vi ask Hollywood the question that she has been wondering, because she sees the light that Gabriel has turned on in Hollywood's eyes, and she's worried that he's changing his mind about wanting kids. We saw her ask him very, very early on in the series. I feel like it was season 2 or 3, if he would want to have kids, and was he sure about her? Was he sure that he wanted to marry her and be with her because she would never be able to give him kids? And he told her that he wanted her and he was fine without having kids. And for me, it's the dialogue, because in this conversation, he reassures her, letting her know that he did not change his mind. And as she brings up legacy, he says legacy is more than just kids. And I think that's so true. Specifically with Hollywood and Vi, their legacy is going to live on in all of the people that they have impacted, because both individually and collectively, like, we are seeing them collectively come together to help Selena and her son. But even individually in the relationships that they have, they really touch a lot of people. They really help a lot of people physically, emotionally, mentally, like in all of the ways. And Hollywood knows this. So Vi, I'm gonna need you to know this too. Now, the highlight of the episode for me is when Charley goes over to Aunt Vi's to bring her little baked goods, honey, because she's using bacon to try to calm her nerves and not try to control all of the situations that are happening in her life. And Aunt Vi sees right through it as like something is going on. And she brings up Davis, what's happening in on social media now, and the response. And while Aunt Vi gives her a nice, cute little read because they did put their information out there for the world to comment on, she does so in a way that is just so poetic and true. One part of dialogue that I absolutely love is, "Have I ever asked you what you thought of Hollywood?" She says, "True love is a sacred and a blessing, and you need to start treating it like it is." Yes, Aunt Vi. Charley, you posted that picture on social media. You went on Gail's talk show and decided to lay out your whole plan and your whole redemption arc and thoughts about Davis for the world to see and approve of when you don't need their approval. Vi asked y'all about Hollywood. She knew that he was a great man for her and a good man in general. And that's it, that's all. If Davis is your king and you're gonna stick beside him, be damn what everybody thinks. Y'all, we might be getting the Aunt Vi that we used to have back, the one that wasn't so consumed with being a little bit overly pushy and kind of toxic in her approach, but one who just could give very real, honest advice from a super loving place that got the point across. All right, but let's go back to Ra. It looks like Ra gets away with his criminal caper even after this quick scare. The family is toasting to the Bones coming back by the end of the episode as being someone else and way older than Ernest, so his name is clear. But it kind of feels like another can of worms opens when Rob brings up the question of, well, whose bones are these if they're not who they thought they were? But that's a problem for a whole nother day. Now, a problem for today is when you think about the idea of not getting caught, it becomes a problem because it lulls you into a false sense of security and allows you to think that it's okay to keep going. Rob went from in the beginning of the episode saying that this was going to be a one-time thing with Theo to telling Darla that he's going to work with him again next week to try to assuage her concerns about him taking her on a baby moon and their sudden influx of cash. You got away with it once, Ra. That don't mean that you're gonna get away with it twice, 3 times, and or 4. And you know this. Choose better. Do better. Also in this episode, we get a little bit of seeding of where Micah and his line brother's storyline is going. He returns the favor as his line brother has experienced a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of stress, and he reminds him like, yo, I'm here to support you the same way that you have been supporting me towards the end of the episode. And while this is happening, we get the seeds of some drama that's going to happen because some other students see them embrace and kind of react a little bit, what appears to me like a little negative response behind it. So I cannot wait to see what that's going to look like. I, for one, have thought that Micah and his line brother were going to be moving towards a place of a relationship and Micah will be exploring his sexuality. However, we're not necessarily seeing those seeds develop as much or as quickly as I thought. So then I started thinking like I wasn't sure, but then we get to this moment at the end of the episode and I'm like, okay, so if they peeping this but then being weird about it, where are we about to go here? We're gonna have to wait and see, y'all. Nova and this neighbor are on my nerves with this coy back and forth. I get it, the whole cat and mouse thing, and y'all should definitely take y'all time, but they gonna get together or they ain't, because I don't really understand what is happening with these longing looks that happen constantly in these random pop-ups and this coy banter that is very flirtatious and suggestive. We get that in this episode, and sir, make your move or don't. Nova, allow yourself to fall or not, because I can't with the back and forth. And similar to the start of the episode, we end the episode on Prosper, who gives a powerful apology. Lord, it was so good. He tells Billy, I hope you can forgive me for all the times that I may have failed you. And you could just see a weight fall from her as these words roll from Prosper's tongue. I wasn't sure if they was going to get there, but as I mentioned at the start of the video, they're trying. They're trying to make their way back to each other, and they're doing so, furthering their connection, getting to know each other better, and figuring out how they can actually interact in a positive way. What a way to end the episode. It was very beautiful. And y'all, that is my episode 5 breakdown for season 6 Queen Sugar. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my Queen Sugar videos. I'm your girl Erica Vane, and I'm gonna see you next week when we go back to St. John.